Hey everybody, it's Tara Green here. It is 8 p.m. on July the 31st, 2025, and I'm here to welcome you to August Astrology and Tarot Card Preview. Okay, there we go. I think we just showed up now. So I will wait a few minutes. I always program it to go live, but it doesn't go live, so I always jump the gun and go live myself. Jumping the gun is the keywords with Saturn and Neptune in Aries, of course. So I'll wait a few minutes for people to come on. I can see the comments here. I am Agent 129 in Toronto, Canada. So I'm going to give you the August lowdown or the up down. The up down sounds weird, right? Of all the astrology aspects going through the month. I got my notes here. I do my homework ahead of time to present this for you, to give you the heads up, right, of all the major aspects for August. Of course, that changes every month. And I'm going to be doing live tarot readings. Okay, so this time I'm going to use my great big teaching. This is the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck, which I don't always use, but that's the one most people know. It's the most positive, well, it's the biggest, most popular one in the world. And then I'm going to use this rather odd little deck here, which I like, just to kind of give you some extra advice too. So if you haven't been here before, welcome Cosmic Intelligence Agency followers who usually come to my monthly offering, which I've been doing for many years already. The CIA is going to celebrate actually that it is 20 years old, and I believe that a bunch of us are going to go live and talk about that and how we personally relate to the CIA astrology site. So it is the month of Leo. I can't believe it's the 8th month already. We're going to move from Leo time into Virgo time this month as well. And we are in the Hermit year. It's a number 9 year as well. Okay, so I'm just going to wait for people to come on here. Usually there's a regular group. I'm going to wait a few minutes. Also, just to mention that the Sun and Mercury are conjunct tonight. Mercury is retrograde, of course, so Mercury and the Sun conjunct many times during the year. But it's always a kind of special thing because traditionally you would use a conjunction with the Sun called a cazimi when the planet is right at the heart of the Sun to do magic, to put out new intentions. That actually just happened, or we're in the middle of it right now. 7:41 p.m. That's Eastern Daylight Time. So we're in the middle of the retrograde Mercury cazimi. So that's a pretty magical time. And then August the 1st is called Lammas. That is a traditional pagan festival. Hi, please come on, say hi. Let me know where you are. It's a traditional pagan festival. We are at the cross-quarter marking, the cross-quarter point between summer, which was June 21st, and the autumn equinox, which is on the 22nd this year, or 21st, 22nd, depending on where you are in the world. So I don't know, where this year is going. Of course, everybody else is feeling that way. And I believe that is because Uranus is now in Gemini as well, speeding things up even more. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of ramble on here a little bit until more people come on. I usually have more than this many viewers. I guess it's also a holiday weekend starting up in Canada this weekend. I'm not sure if it is in the US, but it is a long holiday weekend also this weekend. So a lot of people are kind of taking off, getting out of town today because Friday, August 1st is the civic holiday. So I'm not sure if it's a holiday in the US either. Cosmic Intelligence Agency is centered in Melbourne, Australia. And we have agents all over the world. Okay, so, all right. So let's get started then. So remember, August, this is the month. We have a month of kind of a lull time in a way, never a dull moment with astrology. The month before September eclipse season, okay? So you want to think about that. We are still, of course, in the effects of the spring, the April eclipses, because the effects of an eclipse last 6 months until the next cycle. So September 7th, there's going to be a lunar eclipse, heads up, at 15 Pisces, right in that middle degree, which is like a peak of a wave. And September 21st at 29 degrees of Virgo, the very last degree, the most critical degree of the sun is very important. And then right on the verge of the equinox, which is also one of the major gateways in the year. So Venus just entered Cancer yesterday, and it will be there till August 26th. Mercury stations direct August the 11th at 15 degrees of Leo. Venus will be in Leo from August 26th until September 20th. There's a lot of a big pileup around the autumn equinox this year. On August the 7th, Mars enters Libra. So Mars will be in Venus's sign, which puts the emphasis on relationships until also September 22nd, which is the equinox. There's a big Venus-Jupiter conjunction. The best day, one of the best days of 2025, that's August the 11th or the 12th, depending on which time zone you're in. I'm going to do a workshop about that one because I always like to work with Venus-Jupiter conjunctions. Those are the two benefics traditionally, so you don't want to miss that one. Virgo season begins August 22nd. Ceres, the great mother planet, the dwarf planet, turns retrograde August the 10th at 16 degrees of Aries. So at the beginning of this month, Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, and Chiron are all retrograde. So it's kind of a slowdown period. You know, the major planets all move retrograde for part or all of the year. Okay. And if you're born with planets retrograde, it's kind of like you're in your time zone. So, you know, many percentage of the population are born during retrograde planets. The full moon, August 9th, is in Aquarius. The new moon, August 22nd, is at 0 Virgo. So the 0 degrees of a sign, the last degree, the 29th degree of a sign are always the most important. Yeah, okay. So the Sun-Mercury conjunction as we speak. So with Mercury retrograde, I don't know, some Mercury retrogrades I find personally to be more difficult than others. I have not really found this one to be that bad, to tell you the truth. I don't know about everybody else. Again, when retrogrades happen, they do affect people personally, quite different depending on which house they're transiting to and the aspects that they're making. So celebrating August the 1st, Lammas, traditional cross-quarter day, recognizing the sun is beginning to die. The days are obviously getting shorter here. I'm noticing that already. I'm a big organic gardener. I can see the days are getting shorter here already. We have quite long days here because I'm pretty far north here. And halfway to autumn here in the Northern Hemisphere, halfway to spring down under. So happy Lammas, celebrate that. Now, August the 1st, Venus, there's a Venus square with Venus squares Neptune. So Venus and Neptune are, okay, sorry, I wrote it 2 different times. Okay, Venus square Neptune. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So when these two are in aspect, even if it's a hard aspect, there's a pressure to kind of go higher, go to the higher level of unconditional love. You know, Neptune is in Aries, retrograde right now. So that's at 1:49 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 4:49 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 8:49 p.m. GMT. I'll rattle off all those major time zones. Also on the 1st, Venus is quincunx Pluto in Aquarius. So quincunxes, which there's a lot of this month, just because of where the planets are, mean that the planets are in different signs. They literally do not see each other, which is how traditional astrology works. So of course, Venus in Leo, Venus in Cancer, does not see Pluto in Aquarius, okay? So they're 150 degrees apart. You know, they're in different signs, water and air. Water and air don't see each other, basically. So that's at 10:46 p.m. PDT, August the 2nd at 1:46 a.m. EDT, 5:46 a.m. GMT. So love, you know, there's big power struggles, like sort of the blind spot. You know, Pluto is always about hidden things. So Venus in Cancer could be a loved one, could be some hidden traumas coming up. It could be a revelation about some business, crypto. Venus rules the money. Wherever Venus is, she's about money. And while she's in Cancer, of course, it's all about family, about snuggling, about cuddling, about moms, children, home security, all of that stuff, right? Okay. Mars also quincunx Chiron. So that's on August the 2nd, 2:25 a.m. PDT, 5:25 a.m. EDT, 9:25 a.m. GMT. Again, Mars and Chiron. So there could be wounds or even weird feelings in your body that you're going, where is this coming from? Because again, quincunxes, or what they call an inconjunct, is a kind of a blind spot, things that you can't really pinpoint. Where is it coming from? Like when you're driving, you turn your head, can't see the blind spot, right? But I do pay a lot of attention to them these days. They are not a totally classic aspect, but I think they're very powerful. So on August the 6th, Mars leaves, you know, Virgo, where it's been very nitpicky and very orderly and very detailed and worried, and enters Libra. So Mars, the passion, the energy, the drive in Libra is going to help us balance, hopefully. Mars is going to be in Venus's sign, so overruled by Venus at 4:23 p.m. PDT, 7:23 p.m. EDT, 11:23 p.m. GMT. So the passion, whenever Mars is the passion, we're driven to relate. So relationships, socializing becomes very big until September 22nd. Justice, balancing. On August the 8th, which is 8/8, those numbers are very important. Mars trines Uranus in Gemini at 0 degrees. So 11:45 a.m. PDT, 2:45 p.m. EDT, 6:45 p.m. GMT. It's a good day for crypto if you're into that. Also hacking. It's Mars in Aquarius. It's like robbers, thinking outside the box, big protests, and revolutionary fervor. Again, Mars, the passion to break free. So relationships could break up, all that kinds of thing. On August the 8th, now this is a red letter day, Mars opposes Saturn. So these are the two malefics. We have the two great planets, Venus and Jupiter, and the two worst planets coming into aspect this month, Mars opposing Saturn retrograde at 7:52 p.m. PDT, 10:52 p.m. EDT, August the 9th at 2:52 a.m. GMT. This is a heavy duty aspect, right? Saturn is again in early Aries going backwards, so that battles between self, Saturn in Aries is the establishment of the self. What do I want? Opposing to, I'm always giving myself away to other people. There can be anger at older people, at tradition. Saturn rules tradition, religion, soldiers, warriors. Mars is the warrior, and Saturn is in Mars's sign. So again, how do we, maybe there could be some peace coming out of that. Sometimes a Mars opposite Saturn can be a good thing. We're reviewing old peace treaties, peace deals, maybe things of that nature. Issues with your dad, anger with your father. August the 9th, the full moon's at 17 degrees Aquarius exactly at 12:55 a.m. PDT, 3:55 a.m. EDT, 7:55 a.m. GMT. Full moon in Aquarius is a completion of a cycle. In Aquarius, it's uplifting, it's freeing, it's always completion. Aquarius is higher minded, again, AI, cryptocurrency. So some things can come to fulfillment. Again, this can be good for crypto. Crypto is very Aquarian on the full moon, and crypto rises on full moons. August the 9th, Mars opposes Neptune at 3:13 p.m. PDT, 6:13 p.m. EDT, 10:13 p.m. GMT at 1 degree Libra. So again, Mars, passion, sexual drive, testosterone opposing Neptune, the planet of dreams and intuition in Aries. So we're going to be kind of maybe new relationships starting, a change in your values, your higher values, your spirituality. Could be a good time to have some psychic protection, I would say, with Mars opposite Neptune, because Mars is always attacking, right? Whatever sign it's in, even if it's pieced down in Libra. Or a rebalancing of your spirituality, your sacred vows. It could be a good time to do that. Meditation, maybe, again, spiritual protection feels like what my intuition is saying. On August 10th, Mars trines Pluto at 2 degrees of Libra, 5:29 a.m. PDT, 8:29 a.m. EDT, 12:19 p.m. GMT. It's a very positive freedom, rebalancing, shocks in relationships, okay? Because you're dealing with that Libra Aquarius energy there, okay? Big changes, again, that could be very good for crypto. Pluto rules the wealth, the money, the power. Could be also, the downside of Pluto in Aquarius is more authoritarianism. Okay, all right, how's everybody doing there? Please don't be shy and come on and tell me where you are. Okay, on August the 11th, Mercury stations direct, 12:20 a.m. PDT, 3:30 a.m. EDT, 7:30 a.m. GMT at 4 degrees 15 minutes of Leo. So as Mercury stations, it is at its most powerful. All planets are at their most powerful when they're stationing, which means they're stopping in the sky, whether they're moving retrograde or getting ready to move forward. So it's like a stationary point. So whatever you have at 4 degrees plus of Leo, rules the heart. So the thinking and the heart are connected at that point. Could be a change of heart as well. On the 11th, Venus conjuncts Jupiter. I'm looking forward to this one because it's at 14 plus Cancer, which is conjunct Sirius, the brightest star in the sky. Now, I do have to say, there's all of this hype. Hi from Pennsylvania. all of this hype about the Stargate, which I think Yulia, the founder of Cosmic Intelligence Agency, is kind of going, that's kind of clickbait. It's been so overhyped. I believe that too. Unless you're in Egypt and it's the rising of the Nile, it doesn't really have any meaning for you. It was only celebrated there. That's at 10:30 p.m. PDT on August the 12th at 1:30 a.m. EDT, 5:30 a.m. GMT. That's the Venus-Jupiter conjunction. Sirius is a beautiful star. It's the brightest, most beautiful twinkling star in the sky. I love to track it. So again, it's one of the best days, the big benefics. It's great for fertility, creativity, home improvements. It's great for love, for family, children, mothers, inner child work, buying or selling a home. People are going to be feeling very, very emotional. So it's good for the American economy is going to take off. All of those things all those trade things that Trump has put in is going to really amp up America's economy for sure. Now on the 19th, Sun trines Chiron retrograde at 10:29 a.m. PDT, 1:29 a.m. EDT, 5:29 a.m. GMT. That's a big healing day because the Sun is the source of all the light, all healing, and it rules Leo, the heart, the big inner golden child shining bright. So let your inner child play. It's a good time to feel the healing. Get out into the sunshine if you can. Wear gold, honor your wounds. It's what makes you shine brightest, actually. August 22nd, the Sun enters Virgo. Are you ready for that? 1:34 p.m. PDT, 4:34 p.m. EDT, 8:34 p.m. GMT. It is earthy. It is grounding. It's harvest time in the Northern Hemisphere here. We're taking stock. We're doing inventory. We're organizing. We're getting ready for school for those who are going back soon. Labor Day is September the 1st. Actually, it's early this year. Paying attention to our health, to our diet, work, community, and pets. So are you serving? What are you serving as the Sun enters Virgo? And are you happy with your work? August 22nd, Venus squares Chiron. Again, there's love issues, heartbreaks, but opening up. It can be very much an empathetic thing with Venus squaring Chiron. 7:29 p.m. PDT, 10:29 p.m. EDT, August 23rd at 2:20. Sorry, August 23rd, 2:29 a.m. GMT. On August 22nd, the new moon at 0 Virgo. So again, archetypally, new moons, new intentions. 0 Virgo also represents a new intellectual, working, servicing, listening to your inner hermit in the tarot. Virgo is the hermit. We are in a hermit year, the number 9. So that's at 10:24 p.m. PDT, and on the 23rd at 1:24 a.m. EDT, 5:24 a.m. PDT. On August 23rd, the Sun quincunx Saturn at 4:05 a.m. PDT, 7:05 a.m. EDT, 11:05 a.m. GMT. It's good for shining the light in a blind spot about sort of karmic dad issues, father issues. It's good for past life work, actually, because you want to get in there and see what's been hidden. On the 24th, the Sun squares Uranus at 0 Gemini. 12:15 a.m. PDT, 3:15 a.m. EDT, 7:15 a.m. GMT. Virgo loves to save money and be on a budget, so there can be a pullback in cryptocurrency highs or harvesting profits. So could be brilliant ideas. Uranus is like brilliant ideas, thinking outside the box. Great for launching a new product online or marketing, anything like that. Virgo's ruled by Mercury, and so is Gemini, so that would be good. August 24th, the Sun quincunx Neptune. See, there's a lot of these this month. So things could be feeling really off kilter this month. Again, pay attention to the very subtle, I would say, really listen to your intuition to subtle things, because quincunxes are kind of like, we can't really see it. Look in your rearview mirror a lot. Sun quincunx Neptune, 3:55 a.m. PDT, 6:58 a.m. EDT, 11:58 a.m. GMT. Again, pay attention to your dreams whenever we're dealing with Neptune, your intuition, and double check if anything feels off to you, okay? Because the Sun is your source light, okay? And in Virgo, it's your gut instincts, and that's really your intuition as well. The Sun quincunx Pluto, also on the 24th, big day. 1:06 p.m. PDT, 4:06 p.m. EDT, 8:06 p.m. GMT. It's power struggles whenever we're dealing with Pluto, leaders. Health issues could be in the news, financial issues as well. August the 25th, Venus enters Leo. So Venus takes a different tack. When it's in Leo, we suddenly move to affairs of our heart, of our own heart, pride. Time to party, Venus and Leo, time to party, time for women to take center stage, to be the queens. Everybody has an inner masculine and feminine, so your inner feminine wants to shine, wants to party, wants to open your heart. That's Leo, being very generous, loyal to the people you love. 9:27 a.m. PDT, 12:27 p.m. EDT, 4:27 p.m. GMT until September the 19th. That's how long Venus will be in Leo for. So Venus is moving fairly fast right now. August 25th, Venus trine Saturn in Leo, 5:56 p.m. PDT, 8:56 p.m. PDT, EDT, 10:56 p.m. GMT. It's a good positive aspect for security and love, signing contracts, creative contacts, and fighting for your pride, actually, I would say. Venus trine Saturn is a good working with elders as well. Saturn rules elders. Thinking about your retirement, anything that you want to shine the light on, money, putting money into something that will be security in the future. Something that you love, though. August 26th, Venus trine Neptune. Again, those Venus-Neptune, the higher octave of Venus is Neptune. It's very spiritual, good for meditation, dream work, past lives. 3:18 p.m. PDT, 6:18 p.m. EDT, 10:18 p.m. GMT. It's a great, loving, positive, creative. Just channel, just write poetry, make art, just express, give to charity. You know, you want to shout it out or advertise that. On the 26th, Leo, Venus and Leo opposes Pluto. So that's also a heavy aspect. Again, Leo Venus, the queen versus, it's kind of the human versus the transhuman in a way. Pluto in Aquarius is about, the downside is transhumanism. So women, maybe opposing the power, big power struggles, things like that, standing up to authority, being your own, the authority of the heart versus the machine. Let's put it that way. 10:54 p.m. PDT at 1 degree. August 27th, Venus opposes Pluto at 1:54 a.m. EDT, 5:54 a.m. GMT. That's big money, wealth, cabal. There could be a big meeting or a big change into who's running the money in the world. So there could be a big announcement about that. But it's also good for creative work. On August the 28th, I guess I wrote 18th, but it must mean August 20th. Uranus sextiles Neptune, 5:09 p.m. PDT, 8:09 p.m. EDT, August 19th. Sorry, I wrote August 19th. Maybe I made a mistake here. Mercury's retrograde. All right. I'll have to check that one out. August 31st, Mercury trines Chiron. So this is a good time to talk about your wounds, to write about them, to journal about them. 12:44 p.m. PDT, 3:44 p.m. EDT, 7:44 p.m. GMT. I'm just checking. Is that the 28th or the 8th? Hold on a second. If I made a mistake there. I haven't been doing many sextiles there because I don't always go into them. Let me just see. Yeah, it's actually August the 28th. Okay, so August 28th, let's back up there. Uranus sextile Neptune, very good for creative breakthroughs, good for AI, debt breakthroughs, unusual spiritual medicines, breaking free of old habitual thinking patterns. Okay, again, August 28th, 5:09 p.m. PDT, 8:09 p.m. EDT, August 19th, 12:09 a.m. GMT. Mercury trines Chiron, I mentioned that one. September the 1st, the heads up, Saturn re-enters Pisces at 1:07 a.m. PDT, 4:07 a.m. EDT, 8:07 a.m. GMT. So for a lot of August, Saturn will be sitting retrograde at the very last degree. So the beginning, 0 degree, very potent, very powerful, the war degree of 0 Aries. Okay. So let's get to the tarot card part here. Okay, so how this works, I am going to smudge everyone virtually. I don't see too many people commenting tonight. Okay, so you don't be shy. Let me know where you are. Okay, so I'm going to smudge everybody virtually, and then I'm going to take my special crystal that I use. I'm going to clear the cards here, and I'm going to start with Aries and work through all the signs. So you have to be patient, okay? So Aries, now with Saturn and Neptune moving retrograde through your sign, of course, you are revisiting, reviewing, reflecting on the new beginnings. We're not ready to really move forward until February the 20th, 2026, Aries. Okay. All right. You get the Wheel of Fortune, Aries. Okay. Now this is Jupiter. Wheel of Fortune. It's not on these cards. That's why I don't use the Rider-Waite as my main deck. I use the Thoth Tarot or Tot Tarot. Wheel of Fortune is expansion. Time to look ahead to new beginnings, to gamble, to take risks, to have faith. Okay. So wherever Jupiter is, it's faith, it's trust. You know the universe has got your back. Okay. Now, any planets in Aries are going to be squaring or pressuring 90 degrees from Cancer and Capricorn and opposing Libra, okay? But we're talking about Aries here. So get ready to expand, get ready to have trust, have faith. Things will be moving forward, no matter how bleak they may be looking or how impatient you are, of course, because you're in Aries. And then, of course, you have to track where Mars is. Okay, so when Mars moves into Libra during this month, again, it could be a nice time to rebalance things, settle debts, grudges, old things like that, open up to relationships. Okay, now let's give you an extra card here. Okay, now I'm seeing people comment. Maybe I just wasn't seeing it before. All right, so Aries, you get the Wheel of Fortune, number 10. That's always good. Okay, and then you get, in this card, you get the Moon. Okay, so number 18, the Moon, this is a very different deck here, is about reflection, of course. You can see in that card. It is about, which makes sense with Saturn and Neptune retrograde right now for you. This is a time for reflection to get ready for your big opportunities. That is the Wheel of Fortune coming, like I said, in February, on February 20th, 2026. So take time to get ready because it's a huge new breakthrough for you, Aries, and for everybody in the world, okay? So listen to your dreams, pay attention to your intuition. Could be feeling kind of sentimental as well right now, but just reflect, take time. You have to learn to harness your energy right now so you can really be prepped to take advantage of it. Okay, so now we got Taurus. Okay, somebody's just sending divine protection, which is interesting because I just wrote about having extra psychic protection. All right, so Taurus, let's see what Taurus has. All right, Taurus, you get the Strength card. Okay, so this is obviously Leo. Now, in this deck, it's number 8. In the deck I use, it's number 11. So whatever number it is, and 8 and 11 are interchangeable. You can see it's clearly Leo. Now, the symbol, anybody who ever has a infinity symbol or a lemniscate above their head has to do with infinity, with karma, with all time being now. And the woman always represents the anima or the soul, okay? So she is taming the animal instincts. That's what Leo is all about. So rising above this very human. It's kind of like Aquarius. Remember that Leo and Aquarius are opposites. So the shadow of Leo is Aquarius and the shadow of Aquarius is Leo. Okay, so Taurus. Leo is another fixed sign. Taurus is an earth fixed sign. Leo is a fire fixed sign. Scorpio is a water fixed sign. Aquarius is a fixed air sign. So you're finding your strength, finding your purpose. It could be a little off-kiltering again for Taurus to have Uranus in Gemini right now, okay? Because Uranus is ending its sojourn through Taurus, where all Taurus have to change, and maybe this is the crunch time now. Uranus is just going to enter Gemini, move back, of course, and then move forward into Gemini. So you have to have strength. Where is your purpose? Where is your willpower? Are you opening up your heart? What do you need to conquer in your animal instincts? Taurus is very sensuous, very animalistic, tends to give in to those things. You need to conquer them, okay, to get really strong. Okay, so let's see, Taurus, we're going to give you an extra card here as well. You get, let's see, you get the World. The World, or El Mundo. I think somebody just asked me if I would speak Spanish. This one has Spanish on it, by the way. The World card. So the World card is number 21. The end of the sequence in the Tarot Arcana, Major Arcana, or Trumps is what they're traditionally called, but I don't say Trumps these days. So the World, the stronger you are, the more you can conquer the world, the more you control your animal instincts, your appetites, the more you can go forward. Now, it can also indicate that you've reached a lesson in your heart, because Leo rules the heart. It could be a love affair ending, because the world is the ending. It's like, I've been there, I've done that, I got that lesson, I'm ready to move on. So Taurus, take stock, right now, where your strengths are, where you want to put your heart, where you want to put your willpower, okay, where you want to shine your light. Okay, so then Geminis. Now, of course, all Geminis are getting ready to have Uranus, zap them up starting this year and for the next 7 years, so into 2033. All right, so but this month, let's see, Gemini, you get the Lovers. Now, this is the symbol of Gemini, actually, which when I first started studying tarot in 1990, actually, this one really perplexed me because I had studied astrology before I studied tarot, and I went, how could the Lovers be Gemini? I mean, come on. you know, they're indecisive, they don't know what they want, they never commit, etc., etc. But this is about polarity. And the tarot is based very much on polarity, which is a complementary polar opposites, which is how the universe works. You always have to have polarity. Okay. So in this card, the lovers, the masculine, the feminine, choosing, it's about choices. Do we want to be in relationships? Do we want to communicate? How do we want to communicate? This is very important right now, especially because Uranus and Gemini. Do we want to communicate in a human manner or a transhuman manner? Actually, I just had an interview before with a woman about AI, astrology, spiritual stuff earlier today. So doing what you love to do, Gemini, could be a big change. Uranus, breakthroughs, freedom. Forget that same old stuff. I'm going in a whole new direction. Brilliant insights. You know, Aquarius is networking. It's about freedom. It's about creating a new societal structure. Okay. Could be new love, very literally. Okay. New love in your life, rebalancing in a way too. All the air signs are about balance, right? Whether they have it or not, they're trying to get there, like Libra and Aquarius. Okay. So doing what you love to do. All right. So Gemini. All right, Gemini, you also get the number 20 here. Okay, which is traditionally called Judgment Day, which is a Christian book of Revelations. The Archangel Gabriel blows his trumpet and the dead rise again. So maybe if you don't make the choices to do what you really love, Gemini, then it's kind of Judgment Day for you, which is not a bad card. It's one of the three major specific kind of quote unquote initiation cards in the tarot. It is about letting the old self die and something new be reborn. Now, any choice, which is what the lovers is about, to be in a relationship, the old, let's call it selfish self or only thinking about yourself, dies to be in a relationship. Okay, so are you ready to do that? You know, it could be a big change from the old self into the new. You know, just deciding to really love yourself is very important. Okay, all right. So Cancer. All right, so Cancers with Jupiter and Cancer, it is your big year, okay, for the whole year till the end of June 2026. So let's see. And again, that Venus-Jupiter conjunction is very, very important for you this year. All right, so you get the Hierophant, Cancer. Now the Hierophant, the number 5, is the Pope, the High Priest, okay, any kind of masculine High Priest, spiritual mediary. So this can be a challenge. The number 5s are always challenging. The thing about Jupiter is whatever sign it's in, even if it's a great benefic, even if it's in an exalted sign, can be too much of a good thing. Could put on weight, there could be stomach upsets, food poisoning even, things that are too much of a good thing, family issues, too much sentimentality, but can also be very good. So the challenge for you is to listen to your higher self, Cancer, okay? You could be swept along with too much emotion, overwhelmed with too many family obligations. Cancers need to be needed. So maybe this is where you have to step in and be a little bit judgmental in a way and, you know, really have some boundaries because it's related to Taurus energy. It's about it, which is also a feminine earthy sign, but about being more embodied in what you're doing, you know, less emotional because and earth and water can turn into mud also. But the Hierophant, maybe you have to state what your own terms are. Okay. All right. So Cancer, let's see what you got. Now remember, it's a very fertile year for you. So let me just go back to this one. It can be also about just seriously just paying attention to your body. Okay. All right. So Cancers, you get the Star. The Star is Aquarius, actually. So this is about higher self, higher consciousness, breaking free. So that card is also about kind of setting limits, breaking free in a way. The number 5 always relates to Venus. So this card here, the Star, wishing on the stars. Venus is traditionally the wishing star as well, but this is Aquarius. So in a way, could be a big breakthrough for you, like Uranus and Cancer, Uranus and Gemini, Cancer, they're beside each other. So in a way, it could be what's just behind you. Somebody's posting their sun, moon, rising sign there. So wishing on the stars, it's also kind of a lovely card here. It's very much kind of a lover's image as well. Okay, so Leo. Okay, now let's get to Leo. So Leos, let's see what you got here. Leo, you get the High Priestess. So this is the moon. So Leo is ruled by the sun. This is the moon. Again, this is the divine couple in a way, the balance, the sun and the moon, day and night, yin yang, all of those polarities. Listening to your dreams and listening to your intuition. I think that Leos and Leo season, of course, are going to shine their brightest. It's their month. It's your time. Again, this is to remember to listen to your intuition. I love the High Priestess energy here. What's hidden also hidden things can come to light. Hi, everybody who's just coming on. Balance, retreating a little bit, reflecting, listening to your dreams, your intuition. Okay, watching those moon cycles as well. Okay, all right. So Leo, let's see what you got here. All right. So Leo, you've got, gonna make everybody wait here, the Devil. All right, so the number 15 card, the Devil here. These are very unusual cards. So, okay, the Devil is like fear. It's separation. We were talking about choices to be in relationships. So all of the twos, anything that's about balance is about choices to be in relationships. So the Devil is being seduced by something physical or too material, selling your soul to the devil, something on that level. So be careful, listen to your intuition. Anything that seems too good to be true actually usually is. If you want to be the queen, you still don't want to be seduced by power. Okay. So the Devil. So it's, in the other decks that I use in the Thoth deck, it's about laughing at the devil and really seeing right through it and not letting it get power. It's also about fear. So look at the Devil is always the shadow side. The shadow side of the world is Capricorn, the Devil. And with Aquarius, the interesting thing is, whether we're, every astrologer has different feelings about when we're in the age of Aquarius, but Saturn rules Aquarius, which is Capricorn. Okay. So look at the limits, it could be issues from your father's side, the patriarchy. The patriarchy is kind of being dismantled these days. But you don't want to totally throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's things, the structure is important too. We just want to pull out how it's been interpreted. Okay, so we're at Virgo. Okay, so Virgo. Now it's going to be your month coming up. And again, because you're ruled by Mercury, like Gemini is, when Mercury is retrograde, it does have a stronger effect on you. Okay, so Virgo, you get the Temperance card here, number 14. So here's this beautiful angel kind of mixing, it's like an alchemical bartender, you could call it, mixing different elements to produce a third. Okay, so again, what the tarot is all about is a symbolic, metaphorical, archetypal energy to explain how to balance everything. You want to come into complete balance with your higher self. So tempering things. Okay, Virgo. Now, Virgos are usually pretty. Temperance used to mean somebody who didn't drink, who abstained from alcohol. So Virgos are usually pretty tempered. Anyway, maybe you need to temper how much you temper things so you're not too nitpicky and, getting too much into the details and being too self-critical. So maybe you need to find balance, but it could be very creative as well, because out of, mixing up two different things, you create something new. Okay. And maybe just call on your higher self, call on your holy guardian angel. Okay. Virgos worry about their health a lot, right? So if you have health issues, medical astrology is a very ancient technique for that. Call upon your guardian angel and visualize healing for your body. Now, any sign can do that as well. Okay. So you get strength here, Virgo, card of strength in this card. Again, very different ideas here compared to the usual strength card. So again, pour into yourself what brings you strength, real strength, spiritual strength, I would say. Temperance, again, that guardian angel, rebalancing things in your life, rebalancing your work, your health routine. What else can we say about this card? Strength, feed what makes you strong. Listen to your gut. That's totally Virgo. Gut health is a very important issue, but Virgos work on their gut issues. Again, harvesting at this point in time is very important to you as well. Strengthen what's in your heart, strengthen your blood, strengthen your spiritual strength, strengthen everything. The shadow of Virgo is Pisces. Okay. All right. So let's get to Libra now. Okay. So Libras, you're going to be very happy when Mars enters your sign, of course. And it's good for the upcoming season as well, socializing, relationships. Okay, so Libra, you get the Empress. Now, the Empress is shown as a pregnant woman. You can see she has the symbol of Venus there on her, ruled by Venus. Libra, so this is a nice, in sync thing here. Excuse me. So it can be literal fertility if you want to get pregnant. Be careful if you don't want to get pregnant. Jupiter in Cancer is the best year in 12 to get pregnant. If it's not a literal child, it's a creative project, can be a relationship, issues with women, children, mother, all those issues. So nurture them. And you may be also being a midwife or a support or a helper or a doula to somebody else, a woman friend, a sister, something in your community. I mean, this can take as wide or as a breath as you want. So the Empress, love coming into your life, again with Mars and Libra, that's very good for all Libras. Nurture what you love, you know, again. So hi from Australia. I see there's some new people coming on here. All right, so Libra will give you a helping hand with the Empress there. And it's always nice when the cards sync. Okay, you get the Lovers again. Okay, so for Libra, you know, relationships is their thing. So the Lovers coming in, the Empress. So I would say to Libra, you know, it's an air sign. It's about, talk about love languages. Talk to me about love. Let's think about love. Let's analyze the love. It is in the mind. It's mental. Not crazy, but just it's on the mental plane. It's in the air. It's not touchy-feely. It's not physical in that way. It's not really emotional. It's not really grounded. Okay. So, but here's the Lovers. So it's always about loving yourself. Okay. Loving both sides of yourself, bringing those together, not being split. That's what the Devil is all about. So again, this promises love, harmony, creativity, fertility on all levels. That's really good, Libra. Okay. And also with Jupiter and Cancer squaring you, that's good energy for you, actually. Okay, creative projects, all of that stuff. Okay, hi from Washington State. All right, so Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is a fixed sign. Pluto in Aquarius is squaring people who are born in the first couple of days of Scorpio. All right, so Scorpio. You get the Tower here. Okay, now the Tower is Mars. And Mars is your ruling planet classically, and I use both classical, traditional, and modern rulerships. Mars rules Scorpio in both. So, shocking revelations. This is a very, I think about this card as a very Uranian card, you know, the shock that wakes you up, you know, the electric shock, the electric focus. So, get ready to transform even deeper. It could be a great big epiphany. Again, technology, a big technological breakthrough for you, or just a big freeing up of old structures. That's what the Tower is all about. So, you know, when 9/11 happened, with all due respect for all the innocent people, this was the energy that America was going through, right? So, shock of revelation, freedom, burning down the old, burning down the house, Scorpio. Okay, you can play that Talking Head song. Hi from Mendocino. Okay, welcome, welcome. All right, so Scorpio, you get the Tower and you get the Fool. Okay, so the Fool is always a brand new beginning. So of course you got to burn something down to make way for something new. Again, on Lammas, tomorrow, August the 1st, is the fire festival as well. You can burn off the old. And so this is a good thing. So don't be afraid to be the Fool. I mean, you may get this incredible revelation, like I've got to do something totally different. And then people are going to think I'm totally crazy. That's what I like about the Fool. If people think you're totally crazy, you're usually on the right level. Okay. So it's also about being the golden child. It could be a revelation that brings you back to that clarity of the being present fully in the moment. That's also what the Fool represents. Okay. All right. So Sagittarius. So all fire signs are also being induced to do something brand new spiritually, as Saturn and Neptune are at the beginning of Aries there, like Leo's as well. All right, you get the Devil. Okay. So Sagittarius, again, this is about not being seduced by what's going on in the physical. I would say this is about not being distracted. Sagittarius tend to be one of the most distractible signs. Trust me, I'm a double Sag with Mercury and Sag. You know, if that's what throws you off, if that's what keeps you from being in your focus, then the internet, for example, or scrolling is the devil. For, you know, the devil is kind of relative, right? Also not buying into fear. Okay. Often when we grow spiritually, the universe will send us things to kind of bring us down, to test us. You know, remember that the devil is Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. So there may be some spiritual tests coming up this month. You know, you got to laugh it off. You know where your strengths are, I would say. So, you know, don't buy into it. Okay. All right. So Sagittarius, let's see what you got here. You've got also, what have we got here? The Death card. Okay. So the devil and death. Now, when I do astrology workshops, if I don't explain to people that these two cards exist in the deck, they usually freak out. Okay. So again, and in some ways, Sagittarius, better the devil you know than the one that you don't. But this is about death to those demons, those unconscious things that have been bugging you maybe or have been holding you back. You want to just go forget it. So big change, rapid change coming for you. I would say this is a good thing, freeing yourself up. Okay. So Capricorn. Now again, for Capricorns ruled by Saturn, wherever Saturn is, there's new beginnings coming for you. All right. So you get the Judgment Day. This is number 20 again. This is the Archangel Gabriel. You can clearly see in the traditional deck blowing his trumpet and the dead rising again. Okay, so again, this is a symbol of old things, old parts of yourself, old habits, old work even. It's going to get a resurrection. This is about eternal life, right? So what aspects of your life do you need to resurrect? Again, as Saturn goes back into Pisces, this could be a kind of review, going back to some dream, maybe some spiritual dream that you forgot about, some creative aspect of yourself that you want to give birth to when Saturn and Neptune go back into Aries, next 2026. So again, letting go, it can be freedom as well, can be a message to connect with your higher self, Capricorn, as well. Okay. All right. So let's see what else Capricorn gets here. Okay. The number 5, the Hierophant. Okay. So the Hierophant, again, is like the Pope, the High Priest. Again, maybe not being so judgmental. Sometimes this card, Capricorn, can be just literally too judgmental. And so what you want to do is, again, it's embodied, Hierophant, Taurus energy. Okay, listening to your gut wisdom. Okay, listening to your gut wisdom is always the best way to go. Okay, so get in touch with that. You're earthy, you're practical. Again, it could be freeing yourself. The Judgment card is also about freedom, transcending to the higher levels. A lot of people, if you watch Pam Gregory, she's talking about ascending into the 5th dimension and higher dimensions. So this can be your freedom call, again, trusting your higher self, really connecting to it. That's what the tarot is all about. Hi from Calgary, Canada. All right, so now Aquarius. Be stuck with me so far. Getting to Aquarius. All right, so Aquarius energy. So with Uranus and Gemini, I would imagine for Aquarius, it's like your minds are spinning here. So Aquarius, you get the Chariot, the number 7 here. This is Cancerian energy. It is also about a victory lap as well. So the number 7 here. Getting into the driver's seat emotionally. Aquarius is our, all signs, of course, have all of the faculties, all of the elements, all of the expressions, but they tend to be too heady, so this is about family, and we are in still family time. It could be about family gatherings or feeling more comfortable in your home, nurturing your home, your stomach, food, what feeds you, working from home, having your home environment being something where you feel you can ride the journey in, because the Chariot is the vehicle. It's the emotional body that the soul chooses to express in this lifetime. Okay. The number 7 also has to do with the laws of cycles, paying attention to those, divine timing. So pay attention to, excuse me, that part of yourself as well, and know when it's good time to move forward and when not. Okay. So again, you're needing to be emotionally centered, which doesn't mean avoiding the emotions. It means to be fully present in them. Okay. And the number 7 is lucky 7 as well. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. I did a long interview, earlier today. All right. So Aquarius, you also get Temperance here. Again, a very different Temperance card here. It's like this death and rebirth. It's kind of very cool, actually. It kind of reminds me of a Frida Kahlo image. So again, tempering those two aspects of yourself, the light, the dark, to come into full balance, Aquarius, I would say. So maybe you need to meditate on, what brings me life? What do I want to let go of? This is also kind of that type of energy. Okay. All right. It could be also because the Chariot has to do with relationships with family. For some people, they're choosing to not be with family members who they feel are toxic. Although I would say your family is your family. You still always need to get through it. They're your shadow. They're what formed you, even if it's very painful. It's still ultimately there to help you. Okay. All right. So Pisces, we are now at the last sign. So Pisces, you got to get ready when Saturn moves back into your sign after this month, September the 1st. Okay. So you get the moon. Now this is very apropos because this is Pisces. Okay. So again, you could be feeling like you're going through a rebirth. This card is, I always like to think of it as it's the passage where the soul, the baby, for example, is coming out of the uterus, out of the womb, coming down the birth canal, still connected to the mother. So it still hears her heartbeat. It's still being fed by the mother, but it doesn't know where it's going. It doesn't know what's ahead, but it has total faith and trust. So it's a test of faith, of light at the end of the tunnel. So if Saturn and Neptune and Aries are giving you a real hard time, Pisces, you have to have faith. That's what Pisces is all about, okay? Not buying into the fear, okay? Listening to your intuition, trusting that you're always connected to the great mother, ultimately, who's nurturing you. And you're always totally safe. You've never been born. You're never going to die. You're always connected to source. That's what Pisces know deep down, absolutely, okay? All right. So Pisces, let's give you an extra card here. Last but not least, Pisces, of course. Let's see what you get here. You get the Wheel of Fortune. She's kind of the snail lady here, kind of a snail mermaid lady, kind of cool. Called La Sirena. Okay. So very a pro for Pisces, mermaids. I'm sure Pisces all love mermaids. They love the ocean. So the moon about reflecting on water. So maybe it's good to go near water and reflect again on what Saturn and Neptune have kind of begun in your life, and then go back and just sit with it, nurture it, reflect on it. It is the Wheel of Fortune, though, so you will be moving ahead, okay? Jupiter in Cancer is also trining in a good positive aspect. So Pisces, you want to take advantage of that, like Scorpio as well. If I didn't mention that earlier, be the queen of your emotions, be the queen of your emotions. Sit by the water, integrate that, especially in this card, mermaids are kind of like land and air animals, and so listen to that, listen to your deep intuition, work with your dreams a lot more, I would say. I think they're very potent right now. I've been finding that my dreams are very strong right now as well. So, all right. So I want to thank you all for being here. I didn't think that this one would be longer than normal because I thought there was actually less aspects this month, but I want to wish you all the best blessings, and we will see you in September for eclipse season. I am going to do this live workshop if you want to come to that. I'm just putting that together on August the 10th. That's the Sunday before that Venus-Jupiter conjunction. So I'm going to put that information out. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm at tarottarot.com. So sending you all the best blessings, all right? Okay, thank you so much. And join the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. And also, I'm very proud to say that astro.com has published my article about Bob Dylan and A Complete Unknown and Timothy Chalamet. So if you want to go check that out, that was a big shining star for me and very important to me. So sending you all the best blessings of the day, and pay attention to Cosmic Intelligence Agency workshops and all of that stuff. Okay, blessings to you. Bye-bye. tarottarot.com is where you can get in touch with me. All the best.